Yeah, this that entrepreneurial conversation where ideas flip the hustle into elevation. No filters, no cap, just lessons in motion. Pull up, lock in, this entrepreneurial conversation. Yeah.
Grand Rising to all my investors and self out there, man. Thank y'all for coming through, tuning in to another entrepreneur conversation show that we having on this great Monday. Today, start of the week, start of your hustle, start of your grind, whatever you doing, man. This is the great place to be, starting off at 6 a.m. in the morning time, guys. You know what it is, man. Today episode we're going to be talking about is a lot of passion but zero drive, because you know there's a lot of people that's passionate about something, but a passion alone is not going to get you anywhere or move you forward in life whatsoever, because you know what it is. Passion is emotion and drive is action. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say they want to start a business. A lot of people want to say they want to start a podcast. A lot of people say they want to start a YouTube channel. A lot of people want to say they want to start brands and all that other stuff. But passion without drive is just a dream, never leaves your head. So that's very important to understand that, guys. But at the end of the day, before I get started, you know what it is, man. Go ahead and hit on that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit on the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to the channel. Also hit on the notification bell so you can be notified when a new episode drop. And also, man, invest in hitting that like button, man. It's free to invest in hitting that like button. It's free, guys. And also make sure you make your way over to investbrand.com. That's our brand. So that's our motivational streetwear brand. So make sure you go over there, sign up on our email list, and you definitely spin and wheel and get you a discount. So when the site is officially dropped, you can use that discount to spend on your entire order. You can use that discount to go towards your entire order. And also, yes, I dropped a new show. It's called Sidebar Convo. It's just a short 10-minute, just giving you, it's a space where I'm giving you, it's a pre-show to this, right? It's an extension to this show, just giving you a breakdown of the topic before I drop this full episode and what have you. I'm gonna try to do that each week, so give you a chance a couple days before to drop, any questions that you have, so I can answer them when I'm doing a pre-recorded show of this full episode and what have you. So that's very good. And also, I'm gonna start a show called just no pressure, just vibes. So that's going to be a radio show, just for my late nights, night hawk people that's entrepreneurs up late working on your business, getting your ideas together. For those who are entrepreneurs that's active, that got their business going, and your grind starts at night, whether you own your own janitor service, if you're a club promoter, whatever you doing, or if you over the road truck driver and you own your own truck and company and what have you, that's going to be for y'all, man. Just to converse, to hang out, to listen to, very going to be, it's nothing that's going to be structured. It's just a radio show, unstructured, just raw, raw meaning, I'm just going to give you we're going to be just talking about random things, but we're going to have a, things set up to talk about and what have you. Just give you a late night vibe, that you can groove to and what have you. But other than that, man, like I said, today topic we're going to be talking about is a lot of passion, but zero drive. And, you have a lot of people, man, really out here, that's passionate about things. We all passionate about things. We all have ideas, but it's only a few of us that absolutely have the drive to be able to bring our ideas into fruition, right? And a lot of times, we catch ourselves saying, "Oh man, I had this idea, I didn't execute on it." Right? I had that idea, but when you sit around and you wait to do something, somebody going to come along eventually and take that idea of yours and use it to their best ability, because they have the drive to go with the passion and what have you, right? So people can understand, all right, the difference between passion and drive, right? Passion is what you love, what you excited, what excites you, what you talk about all the time, and ideas and vision, right? Because we love to talk about what we passionate about. You may work with somebody that love to talk about what they passionate about, what they excited about, what they love, and what have you, right? It might be your family member, might be your friend, might be your co-worker, might be your acquaintance, it might be somebody, right? They passionate about it. But one thing they never do is act on that passion, which is having that drive, right? Because guess what drive is? Drive is discipline, action when you don't feel like it, right? Consistency and execution. And a lot of times that's why a lot of people don't really have drive, right? Because in their minds, they know they're not disciplined enough, right? They may not be disciplined enough, right? To be able to stay on track, to be able to bring this idea they have into fruition, right? And yeah, we all have days where we don't feel like doing anything, but those are the times that you really need to dig deep and act on it and get what you need to get done, because that help create consistency, right? They help create discipline, structure, and what have you, right? And consistency. That's the key thing. You definitely want to be consistent, right? Because when you get off track, then that's when you become stagnant and what have you, right? And execution. Execution is the main thing. You have to execute, because if you don't execute, guess what? It's not going to come into fruition. You're not going to see the success of your idea, right? So you got to understand, passion makes you talk about it. Drive make you do something about it. Let me say it again. Passion makes you talk about it. Drive makes you do something about it, right? So, okay, you saying to yourself, okay, sign to someone, someone has passion but no drive, right? Because you got to understand, we all been in a situation, for example, someone that has passion but don't have no drive, don't have no drive at all, right? I always talk about starting something one day, consistently researching but never executing. What they say, study long, study wrong. Yes, you got your research, right? But at the same time, you don't want to become an informationalist, if that's a word, right? You don't want to be just say an information junkie, right? To the point where you get caught up in the information, but you never put that information that you gain to use and what have you. That's the one key importance of research and get information, so you can use that to your best ability to help you get going, right? That's not for you to obtain and keep it, because that's not gonna, because you have a lot of information, but you don't have that don't mean because you have a lot of information, you found out a lot of information, you researched a lot of information, that's not going to automatically bring your idea into fruition. That's up to you, right? You got to put that information that you have to use, right? And another thing is, getting excited about ideas, but quitting quickly, right? And yes, people that do that, excited, man, I'm gonna start this, I'm gonna start this. I got a great idea, but you get to thinking about things like, man, I don't have the finance, it's going to cost too much. I don't have the support. I don't know what I'm doing, right? So sometimes that passion that you have for something, but you end up talking yourself out of it, to be able to gain that drive, to be able to bring it to fruition, because now what you did, you just talked yourself out of it. That made you quit quickly on the idea that you had, right? Then another thing, you hear people say, waiting for the perfect time, right? This is the signs of somebody, like I said, that has passion but no drive. Waiting for it's never a perfect time, right? You gotta get in the game and make things happen, right? You can prepare yourself for the opportunity, but it's never a perfect time for the opportunity when that opportunity is going to present itself, right? That's just like saying you on a team, right? You coming off the bench and you really don't get a lot of playing time, but a player that's plays in your position, right, goes down, right? That's why it's important, they say, for you to stay ready. You don't have to get ready. If you stay ready, when the opportunity presents itself, you don't have anything to worry about, because you're ready to go and fill in where that person left off at, right? So that opportunity, you never know when somebody going to get hurt. So you never know when it's going to be a perfect time when that opportunity presents itself. You just got to be ready, right? So it's never a perfect time. Just be prepared for the opportunity when it does present itself, right? Very important, right? Then another thing, you watching others succeed with the same idea. And that's sometimes that can be crushing, right? Because especially if you had that idea before that person did, but you never executed on it. You never you was passionate about it, but you didn't have the drive to do it, right? But at the end of the day, somebody going to take that idea because they possess the drive that needs to take this idea same idea that you have to bring into fruition, succeed at it, right? So that's something that's very important, guys, right? So let's ask ourselves, why do this happen, right? Why do people have passion but no drive, right? So one of the things, fear of failing. First thing, fear of failing is one of the reasons why, right? People, they scared that they gonna look stupid, right? They fear people judging them, right? So those one of the two things that fall under fear of failing. Look, a lot of people to fail, right? A lot of people to fail out here. They may fail on the first 2-3 business that they tried to get up and running, but guess what? They never stopped them because they never let the fear of failing. They never let the fear of looking stupid of failing affect them, right? Because you don't look stupid. That means you continue, you try, you never giving up, right? Because you learn it. It's a learning experience, right? When you don't give up, you keep going. Guess what? You're going to eventually get it right. Not saying you have an idea and it haven't been going nowhere to stay on it, right? But at the same time, don't give up. You might have this idea might not work, but the next idea you have might work to the point where you might be able to go back to that last idea that didn't work. You might be able to now what to do. You might have a blueprint. You may have a plan that you put in place to a template, might as well say, put in place for you to be able to go back and make that idea work. Then the fear of people judging them. Don't look, everybody gonna judge you. Either you do it if you're doing it or you're not doing it. People gonna judge you, right? So you don't worry about people judging you, right? Like I said, man, if you don't have haters, that means you're not doing anything right. Don't worry about people judging you. People gonna always say something. People gonna have something to say. But at the end of the day, when you succeeding and they seeing you successful on the idea that you created, right? That judging is gonna stop because they gonna see like, hey, whatever we say is not gonna affect them at all because we see how they move, right? So don't worry about the fear of people judging you. No, don't worry about that. Another thing is comfort, right? Comfort meaning you still within your box, right? You got to come out of your box one day because at the end of the day, if you stay in your comfort zone, that's stagnation, right? Once you get out of your comfort zone, that's when you're going to be able to blossom. You're going to be able to bring that idea you have. You're going to be able to become driven to help bring that idea into fruition, right? So what comfort does, right? Comfort kills ambition, right? Because you've been in your comfort zone for so long, now you became stagnant. Now all these thoughts seeped in to where now you are putting yourself in a position where your ambition was up here, but now you're not ambition because you didn't talk yourself out of a opportunity that you could have created for yourself through the idea that you have, right? So another thing is when it comes to follow underneath comfort is it's easier to dream than work, right? You have a lot of people that's dreamer, right? But the thought of you have to put in the work in order for you to bring this idea to where you want to see it as successful as you want to get it, right? A lot of us, we dream, yes, we dream of things that we want to do, things that we want to see come into fruition or what have you. We dream, right? But one day you have to stop dreaming to and actually put in the work. See, you can dream all day long. It's easy to dream. You don't hurt dreaming. You don't feel the physical work. You don't feel the tiredness. You don't feel the sometimes you feel disappointed or depressed because um none you don't just put like you don't feel none of that when you're dreaming, right? You feel good. It's a high, right? It's like a dopamine. You feel good about the dream. But the work, when you have to actually put in the work, you feel the tiredness, you feel the pain, you may feel the depression because you feel like things ain't going your way when you are putting in the work because you're not seeing the results right now. um so you got to continue to wake up. You got to continue to go after it, even though you don't see the success. You don't see the results and what have you, right? So it's easy. Like I say, it's easy to dream because you feel good when you're dreaming, but actually have to put in the work. That's something that a lot of people are not willing to do, right? It's like we in a society now is people want things done in the microwave, quick and easy, right? And another thing is a lack of discipline, right? A lack of discipline, right? And that's one thing. It's a lot. It's hard because you have a lot of things out here that can potentially sidetrack you. With social media, with people, you feel like people are judging you, people swaying you one way, swaying you this way. People are, do you have the discipline, to stay focused on what you need to work on? That the discipline meaning getting up every day, working on your craft, getting up every day, staying off social media, just reprogramming your algorithm so you can get the things that you need to help you become disciplined, right? Disciplined so you can be able to get going on your idea, right? So what discipline? Motivation fades quickly. Like I said, motivation is motivation. Motivation ain't the end all be all. Yes, you can be motivated, but that doesn't mean that that's going to help you become successful. Motivation comes and goes, whether depending on how you feel. I might be motivated one day, next day I'm not motivated. So what? When you're not motivated, guess what's going to happen? Most time, people are not going to put any work in that day, right? So motivation comes and goes depending on how you feel, right? So you got to make sure you stay disciplined. Even though I'm not motivated today to work on my business. I'm not motivated to get up and prepare myself to be able to have a successful day, even though I'm not motivated. But guess what? I'm disciplined. So myself being disciplined is going to help me be able to continue to push forward, even though I'm not motivated, right? And discipline keeps things going, like I just said. So that's what discipline does. When you're not feeling motivated, waking up that day, your discipline helps keep things going for you, right? And another thing you can say is overthinking. A lot of us overthink a lot of things, right? Some things can be very simple, but we overcomplicate things because we overthinking, right? And it's just that simple, right? Thinking too much instead of doing, right? Just do it, right? Don't worry about the mess ups. Don't worry about the errors. Don't worry about if people going to like it or not. Don't worry about what people have to say, right? Don't worry about if I have enough money or not, what have you. You always can do things that help build the foundation of your idea and what have you. Don't overthink it, just do it. Just like what the Nike say, just do it. Don't overthink. See, when you overthink, a lot of times you're going to end up messing up. You end up going to might as well say trick yourself out of an opportunity of an idea that you have that potentially could have made you successful, right? Don't overthink it, just do it, right? You gotta step out of there, out of your comfort zone, and make things happen. Just don't overthink it, right? Because at the end of the day, everything is an experience. You learn good, bad, ugly, indifferent, right, wrong, whatever. Everything is an experience you can learn from, and it's not is and that's a good thing, right? If things go wrong, you can learn from it, to what you need to do better next time, what went wrong, what happened, right? So don't overthink it, just do it. And another thing you can throw in here is financial piece, right? Because a lot of times people, we may not be financially stable, right? So sometimes they may be hard for people to become driven about, have the drive to be able to start working on a business, to get out of park and to drive, right? Sometimes financial can be a big piece for many people that might not have the financial stability. They might be check for check, they might be struggling and what have you, right? And that's understandable, right? Like some people feel better or just put it like this: you have people out there that feel more motivated by how much money they might have, right? So that might make you take more of a risk, because now you have financial comfort where you can go out and take a risk on the idea, on getting the supplies, getting the product, getting the things the equipment that you need for your business and what have you, right? Definitely is something, financial piece, right? So let's talk about, another aspect of this, right? Is the social media illusion, right? And social media it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, but now we have this culture now to where people are faking it to make it. You have a lot of people faking it like they entrepreneurs, they successful. You have a culture now where people are just going renting Airbnbs, renting exotic cars, and making it seem like they are successful entrepreneurs, and really they're not. This is all an illusion to make you not guilt you, but make you manipulate you to buy into their course and what have you, right? So what's social media illusion I'm talking about? Social media makes success look easy. Like I said, you see a lot of videos out there, a lot of reels that people make success look easy, like they woke up one day and they were successful, and it's far from the truth. And when you looking at things like, that's why I say you have to reset your algorithm, because if you don't, all these things are going to be one of the things that's going to have you overthinking things, that's going to make you fear of failing, that's going to make you have just make you feel bad in general, like you're doing things wrong, because this is all illusion, right? Because if you don't see the same results in 30 days that they claim, that's how long it took them to become successful, and you don't see that in 30 days or what have you, or you don't have the things that they said they have, that's not going to help you or motivate you to become go from park to driven and what have you, right? Another thing is people want the lifestyle but not the work. Like I said before, go back and listen to my first show, when I did my first show a couple years ago, when I said entrepreneurship isn't a lifestyle, it's a commitment, right? So you got to be committed to the ups, downs, the good, bad, ugly. When it comes to entrepreneurship, you got to put in the work, right? Because entrepreneurship isn't a lifestyle. Yeah, you can create by being a successful entrepreneur, right? Seeing success in entrepreneurship. Yes, you can create a lifestyle around you being an entrepreneur, but at the same time, you're not going to get that until you put the work in, right? So you got to put the work in if you're trying to get that lifestyle and what have you, but you have to put the work in. You got to be committed to putting the work in, right? Another thing is everybody wants to be called an entrepreneur. Everybody's not an entrepreneur. You have bloggers, you have content creators. See, that's the misconception. See, people think content creators are entrepreneurs. They're not entrepreneurs, right? They're content. They create content. Yes, it may feel like they got their own business, because they create content, but that's not. That's just they just simple. They just a full-time content creator. That's how they making their money off of. They're not making money off of making product. They're not making their money off of running a day-to-day business, right? So they're not entrepreneurs, they're content creators. So don't get caught up in language, right? Because they're not entrepreneurs. So don't think because you're not creating content, you're not doing what a content creator is doing, right? You're not an entrepreneur. No, it's a difference between a content creator and an entrepreneur, guys. Few want the grind behind it, right? Like I said before, just like the word, people don't want to grind for it. The grind can get ugly. The grind can become tiresome. The grind can become long and make you feel worn out and what have you. But at the same time, guys, That's what it's going to take. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, you can ask any entrepreneur that's successful today. They'll tell you, I had to put in the work. Some days I just wanted to give up. Some days I just didn't want to do it no more. But my discipline and my drive wouldn't allow me to give up, wouldn't allow me to stop, right? So you got to understand that, man. They love the idea of the title, but they don't love the work that earns it, right? So remember that they love the idea of the title, but they don't love the work that earns it. So remember that, guys. And another thing, surrounding this topic is passion without drive creates regret. And that's, we like I said before, we all feel the regret of an idea that we have, but we see somebody else take it and bring it to fruition. We all had that moment. I'm not going to say everybody in the world, but those who are entrepreneur minded or people who may be dreamers, have ideas, different ideas and what have you. You might be like, man, yes, I had that moment in the past. Like, man, I had that idea. Why did not do it for and what have you? So that's something, you're gonna have especially when you see somebody that took your idea that you have, right? This is a powerful emotional point, right? Years pass by, someone else built the idea you had, and now you realize you had the passion but never used it. So this is the tough pill to swallow, especially when you see somebody become a millionaire off an idea that you have, right? Now somebody's living the lifestyle that you wanted, that you could have had if you had the drive to bring the idea that you have into fruition, right? So passion feels good in the moment, but lack of drive turns into regret later. So let me say it again: passion feels good for the moment, but lack of drive turns into regret later, guys. So you got to understand that, man. So the thing about that is, man, I know you probably asking how to turn passion to drive, right? How can you turn passion to drive, man? Stop waiting for motivation. You got to stop waiting for motivation because, like I said, motivation can come to goes, rather depending on how you feel that day. Because you got to understand, motivation is temporary, right? It's temporary. Discipline builds what results. So you got to become disciplined so you can be able to help build the results that you're looking for, right? Start small. One step a day. Don't go big. See, a lot of times we try to knock out the whole goal in one day. You can take a goal that you created and break them down to small pieces, right? Because each win, each win that you have or attain once you makes you want to achieve another goal, makes you want to get another win, right? So you got to understand that progress beats perfection. Don't worry about how perfect it is, because if you sit around worrying about perfection, then you're definitely not going to be able to move forward. So progress, what's matter? Discipline builds results. Progress beats perfection, right? Create accountability, and that's a key thing. One thing, we must hold ourselves accountable, right? Hold yourself accountable. If you didn't do what you need to do that day, you didn't put no work into your business, right? You got to hold yourself accountable. Create accountability for yourself. That's the key thing, right? Tell people your goals. Put pressure on yourself, right? Create accountability, right? And when they say, when I say tell people your goals, if you tell a person your goals that that's going to hold you accountable, you tell a person your goals that you can trust, you tell a person your goals that's been around since day one, they're going to hold you to them goals. They're going to ask you, hey, what did you do today to go towards achieving this goal? They're going to hold you accountable. You also put pressure on yourself, right? So create accountability, and that's one of the ways that's going to keep you disciplined, going to keep you consistent at um, building towards achieving your goal and help bring your idea into fruition, right? Execute immediately. That's another thing. Ideas lose power when they sit too long, and we understand that. So you don't want to let your ideas sit for a long time. You want to act on it immediately. You don't want to sit too long, because they do lose power, and they also give the opportunity of another person to come and take the idea of yours too, right? So build habits. Drive is built through routine. So that's very key. That's very important. You want to build good habits. Good habits. A lot of times we have bad habits, right? First thing we do when we wake up, a lot of us, I'm guilty of it. First thing we do is what? We get up, we pick these phones up. Don't. We what? We on social media. We on Instagram. We on Facebook, right? We're not doing the things that's going to be counter productive towards what we need to be working on, right? So build good habits. We know when you wake up in the morning, right? Get yourself together. If you meditate, if you pray, do whatever you can do to help start your day off. If you put some music on that help get you going, right? Go to the restroom, go to the closest mirror, look yourself in the mirror, say your words of affirmation, right? Turn on if you follow any business influencers that's really entrepreneurs, turn your notifications on. They might have a quote that they send out every morning. It might be anything that's going to be counterproductive, that's going to be productive towards your goals, anything that's going to help you. This is what you need. Create a routine. Build good habits for yourself, right? Make sure you're doing things that's going to be go towards helping you move away from being passionate about your idea into becoming driven about your ideas, right? So that's very important to understand that, guys. So the thing about it is, man, I got a question for y'all, right? Do you have passion but need to build your drive? Do you have passion but you need to build your drive, right? And another question is, or you someone who execute. So if you someone that execute, then you on the right path, right? You are going to be able to achieve your goals. You're going to be able to become successful off the idea that you created for yourself. But if you are a person with passion, but still need to build a drive, hopefully this show right here will definitely help you. Hopefully this will be a show that you can pick some. If you can use anything from this show, you can use all of it, use some of it, bits of it, a piece of it, whatever it is. Hopefully it helps you, because this is what is it here. This is this is a hub for entrepreneurs to come to be able to get any learning, to get any advice, to get any understanding and what have you. This is why I created this entrepreneur conversation for, because we having convo about different little things of entrepreneurship. Because even though I have topics that I talk about, but at the same time, it's not difficult. These are just straight, simple, straight to the point topics that I have, right? So this is not something for you to overthink. When I create these shows, this is not for the make you overthink. No, this is quick and simple, right? These are just general things. These just things that's out here. Hopefully I can bring them to you and you can use them, right? So this is what it's all about. But other than that, guys, man, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning into another entrepreneur conversation show. Once again, man, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you be notified when new episode drop. And also invest in hitting that like button. It's free to invest, guys. And make sure you tune in to our new show. Like I said, Sidebar Convo. This is extension of the entrepreneurial conversation shows. Just breaking down the topic before the main episode, before I drop the main episode and what have you. And also, man, like I said, I'm gonna be dropping the new radio show for my late nightpreneurs. That's why I call them my late nightpreneurs. It's called No Pressure, Just Vibes. No pressure, just vibes, guys. So definitely, guys, man, make sure y'all tap into and subscribe to the Invest Media channel, guys, because this is the entrepreneurial hub. Yep, let's get it.